Hi there guys, the action in the EV motorcycle segment is getting hotter and hotter, and why not? Because the EV lifestyle is really catching pace and really transforming people with the kind of cost effectiveness and the kind of groundbreaking tech that our Indian manufacturers are coming up with. One new manufacturer who has come up with something very unique and brave is called Raptee. Now Raptee T30 has been creating waves with a lot of teasers and kind of segment first kind of innovations that they have been announcing. And finally, the day is here where we get to experience and actually see it firsthand with the production units already here. I'm reporting straight from the factory, and the opinion-based videos will premiere later. This is the first look of another groundbreaking tech, innovative and a benchmark setting EV motorcycle that is here to stay and really give sleepless nights to its competitors. So you can see a motorcycle with electric car DNA. This is the RapteeHV. HV stands for high voltage. So high voltage tech is something that was seen only in EV cars or electric cars so far, which made it more reliable, more fail safe, and more performance oriented, more usable, more practical, more purpose built. So bringing the same high voltage tech to motorcycles means what? It's a kind of a threefold benefit. First, longer battery life. You can see now electric car manufacturers giving lifetime battery warranty on their cars. That comes because of the high voltage tech that the battery possesses or the battery pack possesses. Secondly, no drop in performance. You can see electric cars creating records in terms of acceleration, in terms of top speed, and in terms of overall performance. That comes again courtesy of the high voltage tech. And thirdly, the direct DC charging compatibility. Now this comes with the universal car charger compatibility. Yes, you heard me right. The CCS2 charger is compatible, which means you get access to nearly 30,000 charging stations instantly the moment you buy this machine. And that is what sets this apart. You don't have to carry the bulky charger. All you need to do is carry a cable, or that's a 3.3 kilowatt charging capacity, but you get access to a DC fast charging station where you charge cars instantaneously. Just plug and play. Just like you plug it into an electric car, just open the panel and plug it into this socket, and your vehicle is going to be charged within 36 minutes. So this factory is in Chennai, and so glad that I'm part of the first lot who are getting to experience this. Now, as you can see, there are two variants. One is T30, another is T30S or T30 Sport. Now both these vehicles are absolutely identical in terms of specs and features, battery pack, range, everything. Only thing that changes is the visual aesthetics. Something less pronounced for those who want classy, elegant looks without too much of in-your-face kind of graphics. And then the T30 Sport is for those who want more sporty, sharper and sleeker kind of design aesthetics. You can see the only thing that separates them is this extended license plate holder and mudguard. Here you get a tire hugger mounted license plate, whereas here you have a standard license plate. Now this is the only difference that you can spot, or you have the louder in-your-face kind of graphics, which are again not too disturbing. It's very neatly put together. Also the design cues of the panels, very seamless, very top notch for a company who's been working on their product for 7 years judiciously and putting the heart and soul into this machine. And I think that's evident the moment you have a look at this machine. Taking a look at the specs, you have LED lighting, LED DRLs, 37mm USD forks, 320mm disc rotor up front, dual disc setup, dual channel ABS, steel braided lines, and then LED tail lamp, radial tires, 17-inch wheels front and rear, a gull wing swing arm which we see usually in bikes that are upwards of 600cc, tail lamp cluster that looks like so once it lights up, class leading 7-inch high resolution touchscreen panel for user interface and navigation and other information. Here you have the SOC state of charge 48%, front tire, rear tire pressure, the kill switch on off warning, the name of the rider and the riding mode you're riding in, and the respective range with this state of charge. So close to 50%, we have around 75 kilometers, which means true range comes up to 150. The actual IDC range is 200, but then in comfort mode, the true range is close to 150 or just over 155 or 156. Then for rest of the features, let me just hop onto the bike. Seat height is very, very accessible. Let me just choose an angle which is less disturbing. Okay, now the motor is on, and then you have trip odometer here. Tap on this odo, again tap trip A, trip B. Okay, then you can actually navigate directly to any place you want. Say for instance this one, the headquarters, this is actually the same location where we are at. So if you start navigating, it will exactly start showing the route. And here, once you pull the drop down menu, here you have the brightness setting, and here you have night and day mode. So this is the day mode, this is the night mode, far more legible, or automatic depending on the ambient light sensor. Okay, this is how it looks. Let's switch to night mode. You have documents, Wi-Fi, Bluetooth connectivity and whatnot. Here you have settings where you have connectivity, vehicle, system updates and all these things. Again, press home, you go back there. Now, here you have two buttons. One is M, which is primarily for riding modes. Press that M button to power. In power, it shows 57 kilometers. So, approximately 115 to 116 kilometers real world range. In sprint, close to 100, 105. Now it is there. So let's see whether region works. Now it's in R3. As you can see, R3 is not Yamaha R3, it's region 3rd level. Okay, so very bad joke. Then R2 is region level 2, R1 is region level 1, and R0 is region completely off. If you keep it in region level 3, the intrusion will be more and range optimization will be more. Similarly, the modes, you can see in power mode, it comes into blue animation. In sprint, it is red. In comfort, it is kind of green. Okay, we will try to turn off so that we are safe and don't launch ourselves into the moon. Then cruise control is also there, that is activated once in the production variant. This is just pre-production model. So everything is there to really set new standard and make a statement. Now, as I told you, the game changer. First of all, the battery pack, the range, and the top speed. So, battery pack is a 5.4 kilowatt hour battery pack. The range, IDC range is 200 kilometers, whereas the true range is around 150 kilometers for both the motorcycles. Top speed is 135 kilometers per hour, which has been achieved. I'll put that video separately. You can see that it is just a top speed run. There is no commentary. There is no opinion being shared. Look at the panels. It looks bulky, stylish, like a sports cruiser, almost kind of reminiscent of, especially this tail-tidy version reminds us of the Diavel slightly, and a little bit of Dominar, but there's not too much similarity. It has an identity of its own. It has a muscle bike kind of a muscle sports cruiser kind of a feel. Very good road presence. Okay, so top speed is done, and battery pack is done. Range is talked about. Other specs have also been talked about. Now the colors have also been showcased. And now basically the actual this thing change which sets it apart from the rest, which is the high voltage battery tech, which I told you means first of all longer life. So you can see car manufacturers offering battery warranty of 15 years or maybe long lifelong battery warranty. That comes because of the high voltage technology that defines it. Secondly, the consistent performance. Today when I was pelting the bike across the highway, there was no drop in power, there was no inconsistency. Despite we pinning the throttle to the max, it was holding the actual top speed for a very long time, and it was rock solid in terms of chassis stability, chassis orientation, the front end feel, the suspension tuning, everything was bang on. The brakes, now this is the only area where I feel it takes a little getting used to, because there's no foot brake. So it is like a Activa or Kinetic Honda kind of setup where the rear brake is given here. So this is not something that motorcycle users are used to. But then the actual argument here is they are primarily targeting the scooter users here to transition into this EV motorcycle, which is usable and fun, more premium, and more offers more value than anything else in its class. So that being said, you can say that it will take a little getting used to, but the braking is something that will with time people will get used to that kind of a setup. Then coming up to the charging this thing. Now this is where EVs have kind of difficulty, because people say we can't carry the bulky chargers, we can't carry the cables, or we struggle to find a charging network or charging station when the charging is running out. In case of panic scenarios, in case of emergency scenarios where you have to travel more than what you have planned for the day, you can't immediately go and do some kind of, charge it up quickly like filling up petrol in a real world emergency scenario. But with this high voltage tech, you can get access to any of the 30,000 charging stations available across the country for the cars. Yes, any car charging station can charge up your motorcycle, that too with DC fast charging within 36 minutes. And that is what makes this an absolute game changer, because at a stone throw distance, in fact, it has a built-in feature which is again very, very unique. Once the charging state of charge goes below 20%, it immediately redirects you to the nearest. It asks whether you want to be directed to the nearest charging station, and it will direct you to the nearest charging station where you can use fast charge, DC fast charging, to pile up the miles and get going all over again. So that is much more practically usable and practically feasible, especially in emergency scenarios where you have only one vehicle at home, and even after a day's work you're having to rush to some place, you can go fast charge and get going on your way. And that is a lifesaver for any layman out there. And all of this at a price point of 2.39 lakhs without any ifs or buts, no coconuts, no terms and conditions, no fine print, no additional cost. Just one time payment of 2.39 lakhs gets you all the above set features, and including the charging cable, which is makes this a kind of very good value proposition. And especially with EMI options and all, I think you can make it a lot more feasible. Now, in which phase is it going to be made available? First of all, it's going to be made available in Chennai, and then in Bengaluru, and then next year in a phased wise across all the metro cities. So that is the plan. But what is your impression, given the motorcycle design, the equipment, the kind of technology, the features and the equipment, and this high voltage tech which redefines and opens up a new avenue, a new dimension in and of itself in the motorcycle, electric motorcycle segment, or the EV two-wheeler segment in and of itself? Do you think it's going to make a difference? Do you think it's going to create a greater impact? Feel free to comment below and let me know. I'll catch you guys in the next video. As I told you, 2.39 lakhs for this kind of package is an absolute steal deal. 135 kilometers per hour top speed, superb agility, great balance, great poise, and as I told you, the battery tech that we see in state-of-the-art electric cars now finds its way on an Indian electric motorcycle, and that makes us feel proud that our Indian engineers are really walking the talk and setting the stage for what's going to come up and start leading the segment in the days to come. Thanks for watching. See you guys next time. Cheers to the biking brotherhood.